Should a minor be allowed to have an abortion without their parents' notification? This was the question that I was assigned um, to research and to provide facts for. So when it comes to the political season, one of the main topics other than healthcare, education, and the national budget that is always debated is abortion. The debate over whether or not abortion should be a legal option continues to divide Americans long after the United States Supreme Court decision in 1973 in the Roe v. Wade trial. And in this trial, they declared the procedure a fundamental right. Today, I would like to inform you about what each side, the pro-life side and the pro-choice side, what they stand for in terms of abortion, and the laws that are involved with abortion underage. So to start things off, I will give you the perspective of the people who believe in pro-choice for abortion. According to abortion.procon.org, proponents identifying themselves as pro-choice contend that choosing abortion is a right that should not be limited by government or religious authority and which outweighs any right claimed for embryo or fetus. They say that pregnant women will resort to unsafe, illegal abortions if abortion was not a legal option. So, according to an article on ourbodiesourselves.org about unsafe abortions, I've learned that there is a lot of unsafe abortions that happened worldwide. And I quote, "Unsafe abortion is common in places where abortion is legal. Nearly half of all abortions worldwide are unsafe, and nearly all unsafe abortions 98% occur in developing countries. In countries where abortion remains unsafe, it is the leading cause of maternal mortality." So this is one of the big problems, and one of the things that the people pro-choice do believe that would happen if abortion became illegal. And the people that tend to normally sway towards the pro-choice side are on the Democratic side of the political spectrum. They believe that it's the woman's body and they have the right to choose what they want to do with it. So now that I've told you the stance of the pro-choice beliefs, I will now discuss the opposing side, which is the pro-life side. So according to that same abortionprocon.org, opponents identifying themselves as pro-life contend that personhood begins at conception, and therefore abortion is a moral killing of an innocent human being. So the pro-life supporters believe that they are taking into account for the baby before it's even born, whereas the pro-choice are taking care of the entire woman and are not keeping in belief with what the baby is up to. They say, on the pro-life side, they say abortion inflicts suffering on the unborn child, and that is unfair to follow abortion when couples who cannot biologically conceive are waiting to adopt. So basically what they mean here is that if the woman is considering having abortion, they want her to have the baby and put her up for adoption, because then a family without the ability to produce a child will be fortunate enough to have a good, loving, caring child that will be able to provide them with much joy, happiness, and love. So the pro-life side is against abortion because they think it's murder. And they really believe that they want to make the decisions for these unborn babies so that they have the right to live just like every single one of us do today. So now that I've told you a little bit about the different standpoints in the political spectrum, the pro-life and the pro-choice sides, I want to inform you a little bit more about the different policies and laws that are in place for women and abortion. So in the United States, the abortion laws vary between state and state. But since we live in Wisconsin and UW Stout is in Wisconsin, I decided to talk a little bit about what the requirements are and what different things and steps that have to be taken in order for an underage woman to get an abortion in Wisconsin. And according to PlannedParenthood.com, in Wisconsin it says, and I quote, "Your state requires that one of your parents, a foster parent, a grandparent, or an aunt, uncle, or sibling who is at least 25 years old give permission for your abortion. A judge can excuse you from this requirement." So, I mean, in some states, you can be excused from involving a parent without going to the judge. If you are a victim of abuse, sexual abuse, or neglect, and you and your doctor report this to the appropriate authorities. So the judge will if you were sexually assaulted or left out and just neglected, the judge will, pull a few strings, if I say, and allow for the legal abortion to be administered. So, I mean, like I said before, the three main ways for a minor to get an abortion would be that, like I said, to ask the judge for permission, or by telling without telling the parent or guardian, and this is called a judicial bypass. I got all this information from the PlannedParenthood.org organization. And then number 2, it says that a legal guardian can give permission or notified in place of a parent. So, like I said, there's a lot of legal things that go along with it, and these are the steps that are taken in order for an underage woman to have an abortion. And if they meet all these legal rules showing that they are independent of the care and control of your parents or guardian, you do not need to get their permission or notify them. So if you have, all these different qualifications, and say an underage woman gets pregnant, she can have an abortion without her parents even knowing about it. So in conclusion, I have put many different ideas out on the table and explained both sides of abortion according to the different political spectrum. I've gave details and explanations and backed them up with supporting evidence. Based on my information, I hope that you can get an opinion of what side you are on, and then support that decision. If you really truly stand for something, you got to take charge, and you have to be engaged and be educated. If you really stand for something, you have to know what's going on and be able to decide and argue with someone who has different opinions on the other side. I'm not telling you to go with a certain political party, or I was not trying to be biased throughout this entire thing. I'm just trying to say what the facts are, what each party believes, and the different laws that are in place for underage abortions. So with that being said, I want you to be, as the audience, to be more informed, because this is a very important issue, and it is a big issue that is affecting not only our society but societies around the world. So thank you for listening.